The headlines for tonight: one Filipina caregiver confirmed casualty on the attacks of Iran to Israel.
Mass repatriation of Filipinos in Middle East are not yet on the table according to the Philippine government, while the defense security sees no direct threat amid Middle East conflict.
The House Committee on Justice finds the third and fourth impeachment complaints against Vice President Sara Duterte as sufficient in form.
Combat operations against Iran will continue according to U.S. President Donald Trump.
Good evening, bringing you the latest news for tonight. I am ALVIN PELOBELLO.
And I am KRIZZA Lopez. This is Eurotv News. Right, the details on our broadcast. Following the deadly missile strikes by the United States and Israel against Iran, the Philippine Embassy in Israel has confirmed the death of a Filipino caregiver.
Meanwhile, despite the escalating tensions in the region, the Department of Migrant Workers has insisted that a mass repatriation of overseas Filipino workers from the Middle East is not yet on the table. Here's the full report.
32-year-old Mary Ann De Vera from Basista, Pangasinan started working as a caregiver in Israel since 2019. Mary Ann is the first Filipina who died in an Iranian attack on Tel Aviv, which began after Israel and the United States launched its attack towards Tehran. It is not yet certain when the remains of the OFWs will be repatriated, as airports in the Middle Eastern countries are still closed due to the conflicts. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. earlier expressed his condolences to the bereaved relatives of the victim.
Siya namatay dahil tinamaan ng shrapnel ng mga bumagsak na bomba. Na-identify na po siya ng kanyang asawa na isang OFW din na nagtatrabaho sa Israel. Lahat po ng tulong na kakailanganin ng kanilang pamilya ay ihahatid ng ating pamahalaan. Patuloy po ang ating pag-monitor sa kalagayan ng ating mga kababayan na nasa gitna nitong gera, patuloy pa rin sa Middle East.
Many Filipinos have already expressed their desire to be evacuated due to the continued attacks by Iran. 54 Filipinos from Israel have requested for repatriation. 800 Filipinos are based in Iran, and some of the OFWs there have also requested to be evacuated. The Department of Foreign Affairs said there is no change in the alert levels in the countries in the Middle East which were affected by the war. The Department of Migrant Workers said they are not yet looking into the mass repatriation of Filipinos affected by the war in Gulf nation.
Doon sa mga nagmanifest na nais na nilang ding umuwi, we are working out along with the DFA and the host countries, walang mass repatriation sa ngayon kasi yun po ay yung mandatory level, which is alert level 4.
Malacanang Palace confirmed that the president is continuously monitoring the situation amid the conflict in the Middle East. The chief executive has also instructed government agencies to coordinate with embassies and provide appropriate assistance to Filipinos affected by the war in the Gulf nation.
Gayunpaman, nakahanda ang DND at ang AFP na tumugon sa mga posibleng kaganapan, kabilang ang posibleng suporta sa paglikas at koordinasyon sa pagtugon sa krisis para sa mga Pilipino sa mga apektadong bansa.
The government has provided assistance to the stranded overseas Filipino workers who were scheduled to go to the Middle East due to the cancellation of flights amid the ongoing war in the region.
Ang nagiging problema sa cancellation is because either yung airline mismo ang nag-cancel o kaya ang flight ay papunta sa Dubai bago mag-Riyadh or papunta sa Doha. So they are waiting for announcements pa mula sa airlines kasi baka may rerouting para makapasok dito sa, for example, sa Saudi Arabia or sa Oman.
There are 123 OFWs stranded in Hong Kong bound for Riyadh and Dubai. while 57 Abu Dhabi-bound OFWs were sent back to Manila because of the flight cancellations. This is ALVIN PELOBELLO for Eurotv News.
Meanwhile, the Department of Social Welfare and Development has assured the public that assistance for distressed overseas Filipino workers is ready. This follows a meeting between the DSWD and the Department of Migrant Workers regarding the current crisis. More from this report.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, has assured assistance to Filipinos affected by the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. This came after a meeting between the DSWD and the Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW. According to DSWD Assistant Secretary and spokesperson Irene Dumlao, the department is ready to provide financial aid, psychosocial assistance, and livelihood support to Filipinos returning home due to the joint attack of the United States and Israel against Iran.
Po, nag-usap si Secretary Rex Gatchalian at si DMW Secretary Hans Kakdak at nag-agree po sila na tutulong ang DSWD sa isinasagawa na repatriation efforts para sa mga kababayan natin na naapektuhan ng turmoil in the Middle East.
The spokesperson emphasized that the government's primary concern is to ensure the safety of Filipinos and to provide appropriate assistance once OFWs return to their respective provinces.
UD can provide financial assistance, psychosocial interventions, and livelihood assistance para sa mga kapwa Pilipino po natin na uuwi sa kanilang mga probinsya kapag sila po ay nakarating na sa ating bansa. Ang ating pong primary consideration dito, of course, ay yung mapangalagaan ang interes, maprotektahan natin ang ating mga kababayan, and lalong-lalo na mabigyan sila ng karampatang tulong.
Dumlao added that the department has sufficient funds to extend assistance, particularly through the assistance to individuals in crisis situation, or AICS, which will serve as the source of financial aid for crisis-affected individuals. The amount and type of assistance to be provided will depend on the assessment of social workers and coordination with the DMW.
Depende po yan doon sa assessment ng ating social workers at depende rin yan sa koordinasyon natin sa DMW. Kasi again, ours will be augmentation support. Dahil talagang ang pangunahing ahensya na nagbibigay po ng tulong ay ang DMW.
In line with the directive of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the DSWD assured continued coordination with other government agencies and foreign counterparts to monitor the condition of Filipinos affected by the conflict between the U.S. and Israel against Iran. This is KRIZZA Lopez for Eurotv News.
Following the coordinated attacks by the United States and Israel against Iran, the Philippine government insists that a conflict poses no direct threat to the Philippine territory. Despite this, authorities continue to monitor the situation closely and have raised alert levels for Filipinos in the region. Henry Nicolas with the report.
The Philippine National Police on Monday said that the public should not be worried despite the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. According to PNP Chief Police General Melencio Nartates Jr., the current situation in the Middle East involving the US, Israel, and Iran poses no direct threat to the Philippines. However, he noted that the PNP continues to monitor the situation and remains ready if there be any potential impact on national security. The agency's intelligence units are currently on full alert to monitor possible threats, including criminal gangs, communist terrorist groups, and Islamic groups. The PNP is also coordinating closely with the armed forces of the Philippines to ensure the country remains secure against any emerging threats. Meanwhile, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, the AFP spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, stated that there are no monitored security threats to EDCA sites in the Philippines originating from Iran. Trinidad explained that the Philippines is approximately 7,000 kilometers away from Iran, placing the country naturally beyond the reach of any missile attack. He further clarified that EDCA sites are Philippine facilities that remain under Philippine sovereignty and are not United States military bases. The Department of National Defense warns against videos and other materials posted online propagating false narratives about the situation in the Middle East. These messages are harmful and causes unnecessary confusion among the public. The DND enjoined the public to refrain from sharing unverified materials and obtain information only from reliable sources. Rest assured that the DND remains ready to respond to possible contingencies to safeguard the welfare of Filipinos should conditions warrant further action, according to a statement.
Salukuyan ang gulo ay nananatili lamang sa gitnang silangan at walang inaasahang direktang banta sa ating teritoryo, maging sa mga Pilipino at dayuhang nasa bansa. Hinihikayat namin ang publiko na maging mapagmatyag laban sa disinformasyon at kinukundina natin ang mga pagpapalaganap ng takot sa ganitong mga pagkakataon.
This is Henry Nicolas for Eurotv News.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, announced that overseas voter registration activities in the Middle East will continue despite ongoing tensions and escalations in the region. The COMELEC said Philippine embassies and consulates in affected areas remain operational and open for consular services, including overseas voter registration. COMELEC also encouraged Filipinos in Middle East to remain alert and stay updated on the situation in their respective areas. The Commission further advised overseas Filipinos to follow notices and advisories issued by the Department of Foreign Affairs as well as the respective Philippine embassy or consulates and to immediately contact available hotlines if they need assistance.
The House Committee on Justice has declared the third and fourth impeachment complaints against Vice President Sara Duterte sufficient in form. Meanwhile, the committee decided to set aside the first complaint citing a violation of the Supreme Court's one-year bar rule. Mia Layagin has the full report.
The House Committee on Justice officially started on Monday the initial evaluations and proceedings on the impeachment complaints filed against Vice President Sara Duterte. There were originally 4 verified impeachment complaints against Duterte supposedly to be tackled by the committee, but before the determination of sufficiency, the second complainant and endorsers officially withdrew their filed complaint. On February 2, Tindig Pilipinas, along with other civil society leaders, filed a second impeachment complaint against Duterte over various grave allegations. They were the same group that filed the first ever impeachment complaint initiated against Duterte last year. Tindig Pilipinas Francis Joseph Aquino D., one of the complainants, noted that their withdrawal is to allow the third impeachment complaint to prosper, citing similarities among most of its contents. With this, they expressed support and consolidation to the third complaint filed by a group of lawyers and clergy seeking faster impeachment process. The committee accepted and approved the withdrawal of the said complaint before proceeding with the determination of sufficiency of the other cases. During the hearing, the committee members have had a debate regarding the first impeachment complaint filed by progressive groups including Bayan and Makabayan Coalition. This is amid the queries on the complaint's compliance with the Supreme Court's ruling citing that a new impeachment proceeding against Duterte may only be initiated from February 6, 2026. The first complaint this year was filed on February 2.
Natin yung discussions ng mga Kongs, of course the disagreement among the members of the Justice Committee arise from the perceived inconsistency in the decision of the Honorable Supreme Court dated July 25, 2025 vis-a-vis the resolution issued by the Supreme Court on January 28, 2026. While the decision provides that the second impeachment complaint may be filed on February 6, the recent resolution, the one dated January 28, implies that the second impeachment may be filed on January 15. So from the perceived inconsistency between the decision and the resolution, we have heard the disagreeing positions, the different sides, different positions of the members of the Justice Committee.
With 22 affirmative votes, 10 negative, and 0 abstention, the House panel adopted the motion to set aside the first impeachment complaint, citing violation of the one-year bar ruling.
By set aside, it means that it will no longer be included in the proceeding of this committee.
Following the setting aside of the first and the withdrawal of the second, the committee proceeded in tackling only the 2 remaining impeachment complaints in determining its sufficiency in form. In determining the sufficiency in form, the panel should determine that the complaint have followed the rules in filing as well as technicalities, now including as well the compliance with the 1-year bar ruling.
Proceeding today, we deliberated already on the sufficiency in form, and we concluded with voting, in which case both impeachment complaints, the 3rd and the 4th, were both declared to be sufficient in form. Because of that, for our tomorrow's meeting, we will be deliberating on sufficiency in substance of these 2 impeachment complaints.
The deliberation for the complaint sufficiency in substance is set on Tuesday, March 3, 10 a.m. This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
The first day of the 35th ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community Council meeting under the chairmanship of the Department of Social Welfare and Development kicked off today, March 2, 2026. The DSWD chief is said to highlight family resiliency and empowerment aiming to contribute to nation building within the ASEAN region. Here's my report.
At the opening of the 35th ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community or ASCC under the chairmanship of the Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD, the agency is set to present government's initiatives and programs focused on strengthening the Filipino families as well as youth.
Chairship places strong emphasis on promoting family resiliency, youth empowerment, and the inclusive development of marginalized and vulnerable sectors, advancing a truly one ASEAN, one response region.
Under the theme Rise ASEAN, Assistant Secretary and Spokesperson Irene B. Dumlao shared key agenda items to be presented by DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian alongside other Southeast Asian leaders. Among the priorities of Secretary Gatchalian are programs and initiatives aimed at strengthening Filipino families. According to Dumlao, the DSWD seeks to promote family resilience by enhancing social protection mechanisms and developing programs and policies that could also contribute to the ASEAN region's recovery from crisis.
Be promoting the establishment of the ASEAN Network for Family Development, because we truly recognize that family is the basic unit of the society and it plays an integral role in nation building.
The DSWD also aims to push for inclusivity for senior citizens or silver aging, including equal opportunities for them. For the youth sector, discussions will focus on digital resilience while ensuring protection and safeguarding their interests.
We wanted to focus on the silver economy through a regional action framework. Now, with respect to the youth, we understand that a lot of them are already focused on using digital technology. So we wanted to promote opportunities that will pursue digital resilience, at the same time protecting their rights and interests.
Still under the RISE agenda, the forum will also tackle emergency response and multilateral support within the ASEAN.
Because we wanted to continue and strengthen our interregional cooperation, especially during disasters and emergencies.
Dumlao emphasized that the agency sees this an opportunity to promote the RISE agenda, which aims to contribute to the broader ASEAN region. Following 3 major meetings this week, outcome documents are expected to be released containing frameworks or emergency response, family resilience, and youth empowerment.
This is KRIZZA Lopez for Eurotv News.
The Department of Health is planning to promote car-free Sundays nationwide. This initiative aims to improve the health of Filipinos by encouraging the public to engage in regular exercises and physical activities. Vanessa Cleophas has the report.
After the successful launch of the first Kalyasugan Car-Free Carefree Market Initiative in Tomas Morato, Quezon City, one of the programs of the Department of Health or DOH aimed at encouraging the public to engage in activities that promote and strengthen health, the DOH announced to implement it in all local government units nationwide on a monthly basis. According to the DOH, the program is part of the celebration of Philippine Heart Month, Oral Health Month, National Cancer Awareness Month, and World TB Day, and they plan to continue it not only in Quezon City but also throughout Metro Manila and other regions. Through the Car-Free Sunday, the public is given ample space to exercise, jog, walk, or cycle without the presence of vehicles on the streets. Health Department noted that 30 to 60 minutes of dancing can burn 150 to 300 calories, which helps in weight management. Aside from the DOH energizing Zumba sessions and educational activities, the program also offers free medical services including chest X-ray, HIV testing and counseling, blood sugar screening, chronic kidney disease screening, breast and cervical cancer screening, and dental checkups. The initiative also features the Kadiwa Pop-Up Market where the public can buy nutritious food. According to Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte, who attended the event, the city has been promoting car-free, carefree Morato for a year from Scout Rallios to Don A. Roses. The mayor added that the goal is to expand open spaces in Quezon City every Sunday by temporarily closing certain streets, allowing the public to engage in various activities related to a healthy and active lifestyle. Meanwhile, as part of the launch, the DOH also introduced Action Contra Presyon, a program to fight the leading causes of death among Filipinos, including high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, and other cardiovascular diseases. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
Amid ongoing corruption concerns hounding the Department of Public Works and Highways, Senate President Tito Sotto is pushing for a major reorganization of the agency. The proposed measure seeks to rationalize its structure and strengthen infrastructure governance. Nia Layagin returns for the details.
Amid the nationwide issue of flood control anomalies and corruption within the government, the Department of Public Works and Highways was within the front line of the controversy. This is following the alleged collusion of some government contractors, DPWH personnel, and government officials over untoward commissions and anomalies. Amidst the issue, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. have ordered a clean-up within the agency and its official to prevent corruption tendencies. For Senate President Vicente Tito Sotto, a reorganization in the DPWH may be necessary to cut off the roots of corruption which affects Filipino citizens. Under Senate Bill No. 1835 or the Infrastructure Governance Act, Sotto seeks rationalization of DPWH, including its regional and district offices, to make it a mandate-focused organization. The bill eyes the mandate that DPWH should be the primary agency responsible in planning, design, construction, and maintenance of infrastructure facilities. They shall establish infrastructure services units under the agency that will focus on particular agency operations. Among these are National Highways Operations Unit, Flood Control and Water Resource Development System Unit, Other Public Works Unit, and Infrastructure Maintenance Services Unit to be headed by an Undersecretary. Further are Planning and Technical Concerns Unit, Administration and Special Concerns Unit, Design, Construction and Equipment Division, and more. The bill also states the mandate and responsibilities of regional and district offices as well as its employees. This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
The Department of Education is opening its doors to OFW teachers who are set to return to the Philippines due to the conflict in the Middle East, ensuring their employment within the country. More from Vanessa Cleofas' report.
The Department of Education or DepEd expressed its readiness to support Filipino teachers in Middle East who are planning to return to the Philippines due to the current tensions in the region. According to DepEd, under the Sa Pinas Ikaw ang Mamatser o SPIMS program, qualified and licensed teachers returning to country may be given employment in public schools. Education Secretary Sani Angara said they may be appointed as Teacher 1, but this will still depend on the existing qualification standards and hiring guidelines. The requirements include passing the licensure examination for teachers or LET, being a Filipino citizen holding a Philippine passport, having at least 1 year of teaching experience within the last 5 years, and not having resided in Philippines for more than 3 consecutive years. Returnees will also undergo online refresher courses and other training related to the K-12 curriculum. The Education Department emphasized that the SPIMS program, in partnership with the National Reintegration Center for for OFWs, Commission on Higher Education or CHED, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA, and other partner agencies is focused on assisting overseas Filipino teachers who wish to return to the country. However, the application process still requires teachers to submit valid documentation such as APRC ID, Certificate of Boarding Rating, and proof of overseas employment. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
The Manila City government has ordered at least a 50% reduction in fuel consumption across its departments amid rising tensions in the Middle East. Graciela Corazon has more.
In response to the looming oil crisis caused by escalating tensions in the Middle East, Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Dumagoso signed Executive Order No. 7 Series of 2026, which aims to reduce the use of petroleum product in the city of Manila. The order covers all departments and offices in the city, including the use of official vehicles, generator sets, heavy equipment, and other fuel-consuming equipment. According to Mayor Isko Moreno, under the proposal, fuel consumption in all departments, bureaus, and offices of the city government is required to be reduced by at least 50%. The city aims to reduce fuel consumptions and ensure the efficient use of limited supplies amid the U.S.-Israel versus Iran.
Achieve an immediate minimum fuel consumption by at least 50% in their respective offices except as provided in Section 8 herein.
However, the mayor clarified that services-related emergency response and essential city operations are not covered by the restriction. This includes police, fire, ambulance, disaster response, healthcare services, garbage collection and hauling, traffic management, and other services that may be to be declared essentials. Meanwhile, the LGU will temporarily ban non-essential travel and all study trips and trips abroad unless they are critical and emergencies. Switching off power every 5 p.m. will also be implemented in hospitals operated by the Manila LGU. Meetings conducted by the city government of 4 barangays, health centers, hospital and district satellites will also be held by online. Graduation ceremonies for public elementary and secondary schools will also be held inside their respective campuses to reduce travel and to use of vehicle by families. The mayor also called for the private sector to cooperate in the launch of the measure.
To come up with their own measures on how we cushion the socio-economic impact of this situation in the Middle East. This is our own little way to join the national government in its effort and advice and directives to save as many as we can with regard to fuel consumption or dependency on fuel.
Along with this, the public was also advised to use only efficient fuel for maintain an adequate supply of crude oil in the city.
Iwasan po muna natin mga bagay na hindi kapaki-pakinabang, lalo na kung ito'y kukonsumo ng mga gasolina. Sa mga private sector, ulitin ko po, ako po'y nananawagan sa inyo na tayo'y magkaisa at nasa gano'n naman, may awa ang Diyos, we will survive this. But for the meantime, we do our part. We have to work hand in hand with the national government, local government, the private sector, and the community.
This is Graciela Corazon for Eurotv News.
A new road safety park has been inaugurated in Muntinlupa City as part of its 31st cityhood anniversary celebration. The facility aims to promote responsible road use through hands-on training and simulation activities, particularly for children and students. Catherine Landicho tells us more.
Muntinlupa Road Safety Park was formally inaugurated on March 2 in Barangay Tunasan as part of the 31st Cityhood Anniversary celebration of Muntinlupa. The facility was established through a partnership between the Department of Transportations and the Muntinlupa City Government. It aims to develop more responsible road users by providing hands-on learning and simulation activities. Among its key features are mini-road network, pedestrian lanes, cycleways, traffic signage, and designated training areas for children and students. The inauguration ceremony was attended by Acting DOTR Secretary Giovanni Lopez, Undersecretary Mark Steven Pastor, Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA General Manager Nicolas Torre III, Land Transportation's Office or LTO Executive Director Martin Ontog, and Engineer Joshua Rodriguez. Mayor Rupi Biazon emphasized the importance of teaching proper road use at an early age. He said instilling discipline among children will help cultivate a generation of Filipinos who follow traffic laws, leading to improved traffic flow and safer street for pedestrians. The Road Safety Park is expected to partner with schools and community organizations in promoting responsible road behavior, marking a significant step toward a safer and more disciplined Muntinlupa. This is Catherine Landicho for Eurotv News.
U.S. President Donald Trump says combat operations against Iran will continue despite reports that the country's supreme leader has been killed. The statement comes as military actions intensifies and the conflict in the Middle East enters its third day. Son Santiago with the report.
Although Iranian's supreme leader has been declared killed, the United States said it will continue combat operations against Iran. In a 6-minute video posted on his Truth Social platform, U.S. President Donald Trump signaled that military operations, dubbed as Operation Epic Fury, would intensify until all their objectives are achieved.
Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives.
This remark came as the conflict entered its third day following large-scale U.S. strikes carried out alongside Israel last Saturday. Trump framed this ongoing campaign as a response to what he described as a dire threat, arguing Iran's alleged campaign with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would pose grave danger to Americans. Meanwhile, following the air offensives, U.S. forces have also begun targeting Iran's navy, reporting that 9 Iranian warships have been destroyed. As retaliation, Iran has since launched strikes across the Middle East region, targeting sites in Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia, among others, where U.S. forces and assets are present. So far, 48 Iranian leaders have been killed, according to international reports. Trump also grieved the deaths of 3 American troops, acknowledging that additional casualties could occur as they continue. On the other hand, in the same video, Trump renewed his call for regime change in Iran and offered full immunity to Iran's guardian military who will lay down their arms. He warned that if they will not abide, they will face severe consequences.
I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, police, to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be...
According to an international report, strikes could continue for up to 4 weeks, Trump said. This is Son Santiago for Eurotv News.
Theater and comedy stars Kim Molina and Gerald Napoles, who have been a couple for many years, have officially tied the knot. Several prominent personalities from the entertainment industry graced the ceremony. Sam Martos tells us the details.
After 12 years of love and being in a relationship, singer and actress Kim Molina has finally tied the knot with her longtime boyfriend Gerald Napoles. In Kim's social media post, she shared a video from their wedding ceremony, which has now reached over 7 million views online. She also added on her caption, "A dream walk to remember." Kim's wedding gown was designed by Filipino designer Mac Tumang. It can be recalled that the couple got engaged in 2024 when Gerald surprised and proposed to Kim at the PETA Theater Center. Meanwhile, their wedding was attended by several well-known personalities, friends and family such as actor Gerald Anderson, Christopher Martin, Kakay, Kim Atienza, and many more. Their wedding ceremony took place yesterday, March 1, 2026 at Amoreta Resort in Bohol. This is Sam Martos for Eurotv Showbiz News.
And that's the latest news for tonight. You may visit eurtvph.com for more news and information. Once again, I am KRIZZA Lopez.
You may also catch our live broadcast through our social media accounts and via Extreme channel. I'm ALVIN PELOBELLO. Thanks for joining us. This is Eurotv News Thread. Stay safe. Have a good night, everyone. Live from Tehran.